Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new site tour here on Average J's Camping. This weekend I am in Salem, Wisconsin, which is in the southern part of the state, about halfway between Kenosha and Lake Geneva. I am at Mount Brooks of Wisconsin. The site I'm staying at is called A Walk in the Woods. As normal, I will not show the address, I will not show the street. The Hipcamp link is in the description. If you would like to come stay here, by all means follow that link and book a stay. Once again, I always reiterate this every video. I pay the fees just like everyone else. This is not a sponsored or free stay by any means. So you will get honest opinions from me. So, very, very, very long driveway. Back down this way is one of their sites called Base Camp. That is your RV site, your pull-in, park-at site. That one is $45 a night. And then you come down here a little further. They have signs everywhere. The arrow is faded, but there is an arrow pointing to the left here. So we come back down over here, down this little gravel driveway. It's a nice crisp day. It's about 40 degrees right now, November 11th, 2023. So we'll get to that. That sign there is Walk in the Woods parking. But before we go over there, they do have potable water for you. They do supply buckets for extinguishing your fire when your trip is over. There's a power outlet here, but it looks pretty grody. I'm not sure if that's on. I bring my power banks. I don't need electricity, so got my own. So then you come back here. There is my car. So this is the quote-unquote parking area for A Walk in the Woods. As you can see, they have it clearly marked, so you know where you're going the whole way in from the driveway. It's a pretty long driveway. So, Walk in the Woods sign, Average J's Camping flag flying proudly. Now, on the Hipcamp listing, they do list this as a park and hike into the site. If I do get a chance to speak with Angela and Matt, I believe her husband's name was, I'm going to tell them to change that, or I'm not going to tell them to, I'm going to recommend or suggest that they change that, because my car's right here. As you can see, the site's right there. I personally would consider this a park at the site spot. Now, if the campsite itself was another 50, 75 yards into the woods, then I would say, yeah, that's a hike in. But you got the car parked right here, and then you just walk through this little passage, and bam, you're here. So, looking at this, there's a train going by. That is also part of the listing. The train does go by pretty frequently. So if you're looking for peace and quiet, this is not going to be a site for you. But I live in the city. I listen to music. I watch TV, not TV, or YouTube or Netflix on my phone when I'm out here. So I'm making plenty of noise of my own. The train doesn't bug me. So, but this is it. You got yourself a fire pit. Got yourself a nice patch of woods. It's a little hard to give a a summertime or a springtime opinion on this. All the leaves have fallen, so it appears really wide open right now. I don't know what it's going to look like in the summertime. So I will definitely be back. So far, so good. I have no complaints about this site at all. Take a quick peek in here. Here's my sleeping arrangements for the weekend. Got my Mr. Buddy heater, dirty clothes bag, propane tank outside for all you safety Nazis that think you can't keep it in the tent with you. I put it outside just because then it's not taking up that much room in such a small tent. Now this site here is $35 a night, which is fairly reasonable for what it is. You will find cheaper ones on Hipcamp. You will find more expensive ones on Hipcamp. So $35, that's probably your average. I mean, I see a lot of them for $35, so I don't know if when you're signing up for a Hipcamp, that's like a recommended amount or something. I don't know. I've never signed up to host on Hipcamp, but it seems that a lot of them are $35 a night. $35. You can hop on the app and see that for yourself. One downfall of this site, and it's not even that big of a deal. To some it may be. To me, it's not. And again, it could be completely different in summertime. But you can see there's their house right there. Big, beautiful house. Really a lovely property. But I could see their porch lights all night long. That's why I set my chair up on the side of the fire pit. I did. That way the porch lights were behind me. I just looked off into the woods here. They do ask that you do not bring firewood in with you. They sell firewood on site. I burned through all of my firewood last night. They are off doing fun things. So when I messaged for more firewood, she told me where it was, and I just drug my wagon up there and Venmo'd her some more money and went and picked up my firewood myself. Again, not a huge deal. It's a nice, smooth driveway. Wasn't that far of a walk at all. But yeah, I mean, you could very well get quite a few tents back here if you wanted to have somewhat of a gathering. If you're going to do a gathering, personally, again, I would look into other places that are a bit more secluded, because the larger the group, the more noise you make, and you are super close to the house. So you don't want to disturb the host when you're having a good time. They were nice enough to open up their private property for you to use. So this is going to be a bit more of a, you don't have to tiptoe, you don't have to be quiet, but you do want to pay attention, that there is a house pretty nearby. So you don't want to bring the big speakers, you don't want to bring a loud, obnoxious group. It's a small gathering, or a good base camp if you're going to go around to the lakes and amenities and other things that are around. It is 25 minutes away from Great America in Illinois, so you could take the family there. If you're doing that, I would probably suggest the base camp one, just because chances are you probably have an RV, and you're not going to get an RV back here. If they did take the time to cut down a few of these smaller trees, you could open this up. I was kind of looking at this last night, and I'm not going to try it, because, well, I can't. I don't have that car here, but the Honda Fit may fit through this gap, which with that car, if it did, this would definitely make it a park at site. But it would take some skill. It would be slow going. I probably wouldn't want to risk any brush rubs or anything on it. But I mean, cut down these two trees and the one behind it, and you would have a driveway straight in. But again, where the parking is, really not that big of a deal. It's right here. I unloaded without an issue last night. Didn't even really start to breathe heavy because it is really close by. So, in conclusion, I do recommend this site, definitely. This could turn into a Russell, Illinois Old Chorus Family Farm replacement. The Old Chorus Family Farm, I really like it down there. Tom is an awesome host, but that is a hike in. I can get the Honda back there, but really only in the fall. In the spring, it's going to be too wet to drive through the pasture. In the summer, the grass is just too tall. There's too much vegetation going on. So, and then winter, give or take snow. You know, if it's not snowy, I could get back there. But if it is a lot of snow, obviously I'm not going to drive a little Honda Fit roller skate through a snowed over hay pasture. So the only other option there is to park in his driveway, and while you guys can go back and watch my videos of the Old Chorus Family Farm, that is a hike back for someone that's older and admittedly horribly out of shape. So this one here, the Old Chorus Family Farm, is a good spot for my buddy Cliff to swing by. This one is also close enough for my buddy Cliff to swing by. And really, that's why I kept going back to the Old Chorus Family Farm, was so I could spend an afternoon with him. So knowing that he can make it out here, this may be another option. But we're going to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this tour. Go ahead, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and we'll see you next time.